starts completed. So let's go to record and let's do our pull here again. Let's see what we have. Still hit some kind of a limiter there. Let's go to stop. Sounded a little bit smoother, that pull, with a little bit more ignition timing in there. Let's go ahead and key it off. Well, let's jump in and take a look at the graph real quick here. So we're seeing big difference. 4 or 5 degrees of timing jumped a lot. We can see our torque curve's nice and flat. We see it's about 280 torque, and we're hitting here about 300 and, it's hard for me to see, 370 horsepower. So that looks good. We have a huge increase. Let's just look at our data, make sure everything is in line here still. So playing this back, we see the closed loop correction still is adding a little bit of fuel right here. We might need to add a little bit more. That's adding about 3-4%. Let's go and add that right in here. I'll do shift asterisk 1.04. Add that in, and then I'm going to just blend that horizontally here, both ways. Let's move up here in the table. So we're finding right in here, 5,000 or so. It looks like it's slightly rich. It's taking out a slight bit of fuel. And then as we go up to the high RPM here, it's adding a slight bit of fuel, but that's 1%. That's good. I'm not going to change anything there. Let's take a look at our spark timing here and evaluate those changes we made. So looking at this, I don't see any knock behavior. Looking at that, we can see all these are all the knock ignition trims. No knock behavior there. It was running around 11 degrees of timing. Let's take a look at our actual knock information here. So as we're finding here, the white line represents the floor, as we're finding here, and none of our channels have overstepped that knock floor. So we're looking for the big jumps or big spikes here. Now we do see some spikes going on within the cylinders, but I don't see anything that's huge overstep. So I think we're good there. We're running 11 degrees timing here, and the boost pressure, as we're looking at this, dropped a little bit. Now we're 195 kPa. That's normal to see the boost drop as we're adding a bit more spark timing when we have low spark time to begin with. So we'll further optimize everything. We're finding that we're putting more of that energy down into the cylinder rather than putting through the exhaust and spinning the turbine wheel. So we're finding we're actually being more efficient. So we're a little bit less boost, a lot more torque and horsepower. Let's see if we can kind of keep this trend going. Put a little bit more spark timing in because the fuel looks good, as we're finding here. The fuel still looks good. Not really much changes we need to make there. Let's jump into the spark timing and bump in a little bit more. So kind of tracing back through the spark timing table, if I go and do H, so we can see exactly where we're at here, we're finding that we're in this range. So I am going to add in here another 4 degrees of timing. Let's see what that's going to do. So once you add that initial hit, 4 or 5 degrees from a very low timing amount, it'll jump in power. And then from there, 3 to 4 degrees is appropriate. And then as we start to get up higher and higher in power, we'll find that those gains we're making are going to shrink. So the next pull, I'm not anticipating it having as large of a jump as we're optimizing the timing. We will get to a point where we might start to show knock activity, which is what I want to find, where that threshold is, so we know that the engine's going to be safe. So what I'm going to do here is just highlight this from 120 to roughly 220 in this range. And I'm going to go in here and I'm going to add. Thanks for checking out our teaser clip. If you want to see the rest of this video and more than 500 hours of current EFI training we have to offer, make sure you click right here. If you want to go and check out more teaser clips from this training course, click here. And you don't want to miss any of the videos we're going to be releasing on this channel, so make sure you subscribe and click here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.